everybody.
Hi everyone.
Welcome to Twinset and Purl's Knitting Podcast, episode 33. I'm Jo.
I'm Rachel.
And we are twins who knit together and design socks and shawls and sweaters. And we now do, for about a year and a half, we've been doing a podcast. So if you're new here, welcome. If you've been watching us for a while, thank you for coming back. We've got lots to share today.
Today might be a long one.
Yeah,
so and it's for your knitting.
Yeah, and watch us in bits. It's a very hot in the UK at the moment. Oh yeah, by the way, we're based in the UK. I live in Bristol and Rachel lives in Oxfordshire. I usually come to Rachel's to podcast.
My kitchen.
In Rachel's kitchen.
So we've got a window open. We're hoping we're going to speak up. We're going to try and speak louder. People have commented that we don't speak loud enough. We are going to try. She puts her hand straight away over her mouth with a tissue, but it's very warm today. If you're in the UK, and this is the 10th, Sunday the 10th of September, you'll know how hot it is and how hot it's been.
I think yesterday was the hottest day of the
Heathrow,
year,
isn't it? They measure it at Heathrow.
The hottest day of the year so far in the UK, and it's September, which is insane.
Yeah. So we've got the windows open, which we hope will have the least noise, road noise. It is early in the morning. It's just gone 8 o'clock. So we will try and. But this is going to be. We've been to I've been to 2 yarn shows. And Jo's been away on holiday.
I think it's 3 weeks.
Yeah,
podcast, so there's quite a lot of knitting.
And she, because she's been away, I've done even more knitting than I normally would. So we'll get started with we've got a little bit of admin.
Yeah.
And then we will because we had a giveaway last podcast, and we're having another one today.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be before the acquisitions, I think, but so for people who don't
want to watch the acquisitions, but yeah, towards the end.
Yeah.
Well, no, the acquisition is probably going to be the middle before.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So should we? I don't know. Should we do a little bit of life?
Go on, quickly.
What we've been doing? I've been on a cruise to Italy.
You've got more to talk about than me.
Yeah, we had some bad weather in Italy. It was thunder and lightning, which was quite interesting on a cruise ship.
You haven't been for a while, have you? Because you
I haven't been for a while. I used to go with my ex-husband
a lot, didn't you?
Quite a lot, and we've been split up for 15 years, and I've been with my new husband. We've been married for 10 years, but we've been together for 15 years.
You still call him your new husband?
My new husband. I call him the second husband because
keep on his toes.
Yeah. And I've been trying for years to convince him to go on a cruise, and he's been resisting. And then we had some timeshare points to use up, and this came up as one of their offers, and he was like, "Oh, why not try it? It's not costing us as much as it would do." He's Scottish, but yeah, all the things are true about Scottish now. Anyway. So we went on the cruise, it was lovely, we met some really lovely people, had a great time. Weather wasn't exactly what we'd expected, but we've come back and the weather's been brilliant in the UK. I mean, if not a little bit too brilliant. Yeah. So we met up yesterday, we went to Farnham to the maltings for Unravel. While I was away, Rachel went to the Southern Wool Show
with my friend Maggie.
With our friend Maggie, and she met Wool and Wishes both
weekends. Yeah, it's been lovely sitting and getting to know them even better. Nice.
So yesterday was quite a lot quieter.
We're going to talk about that when we talk about the show, fine. I think, because we need to do the admin.
Yeah, but the people who don't want to hear about the acquisitions might want to hear about the show.
Okay, go on then.
So it was quiet. I think the September one is usually quieter than the February one. It's 2 days rather than 3 days, and.
But the vendors all said they'd had great shows.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed it more because there was less people and you could talk to, because we've become friendly with quite a few of the dyers now. We've collaborated with quite a few of them.
And you didn't have to queue for the toilet, and you didn't have to queue for the cafe. And it was,
get a seat.
Yeah, it was just lovely. We had a great day. In fact, we thought we were only going to be there.
We thought we were going to do a loop and then go and have a nice lunch somewhere. And we ended up staying there till they shut.
Yeah, we were there from we didn't get there. We got back 9:20, and we left at 4:00.
Yeah.
So we had a great time.
Yeah, we did. We had a lovely time.
So that's up to today.
Yeah. So I don't really have any news to tell.
Just as a contrast, what was the Southern like to compare to Unravel?
The Southern was busier, much busier. They said not on the Sunday. It seemed busy to me. We did much less shopping and lots more talking, as you'll see from what I purchased. And we did a loop around the grandstand, outside of the grandstand hall. Didn't really go into the middle at all. And then we did a little bit more in the other one, the Bedfordshire? No.
I don't know what it's called.
The other place, the other room they have. And that's where Bird Street was. So we chatted to them a bit before we had lunch, and then we went back there to see them. And we did stay till the end. We did have a quick look around there. There were a few places I definitely wanted to go. So,
was it hot there?
It was not as hot as it had been the rest of the week. It was. We were just, I think, made comments about how the sun wasn't as hot at 25 degrees. Didn't feel the same as, so it's about 25, 26, and we sat outside and stuff. So, yeah, it was. I really enjoyed it because of the people that I socialised with, and getting to spend time with Maggie, and seeing John and Claire and stuff like that. So it was. But I actually feel better today, bizarrely, than I did when John. I was on steroids last weekend as well. I was exhausted after. There's a lot more walking, I think, at the Southern. Anyway, that's not what you want to hear. So we've got a little bit of admin because we've got a giveaway winner.
We've got a giveaway winner, and we've also got a winner from our T and P.
From all
whips
from September.
No,
from August. So that winner.
That winner is Anne59,
who is knitting a Fizzy Pop
Shawl
in blue with pink mohair.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And
we hope you have a fabulous coat that's going with, or it looked lovely with a denim jacket.
So go and check out that thread in our Ravelry group, because you just gotta, if you're knitting one of our patterns, we say this every time, just show us a picture, make a comment. Somebody had done a sock design that took me a while to work out which one it was because they didn't say which pattern they were knitting, or they'd knitted. But
pop on there and pop a picture.
Chance of winning a pattern. So I'll be in touch. But if you hear, I'll put the name. There's only bits of editing I do to put the winners on the thing. So if you see this, email us or write to us on Ravelry, write to me on Ravelry, and tell me what pattern you would like. Any pattern, not one of ours. Doesn't have to be. If you want one of ours, that's fine. It doesn't have to be one of ours. Just let me know what pattern you would like, and I will gift that to you. And
the other winner was Heather Harrison,
who has won the pouch.
So we did do a random. We did do a random
comment picker.
Yeah.
So you just had to comment on the.
So this is the bit from the random comment, just to prove that we did it.
So hold it a bit closer, so. Or maybe just read her comment.
So,
no, it's not the whole thing.
It's not the whole thing. So we enjoyed seeing your dad. I'm sure he enjoyed it too. Look forward to the next episode. Love it when you find beautiful things from local craft.
Yeah, so this is from Laxey Woolen Mill in the local, the Manx Loughton sheep. So we shall. So Heather Harrison, if you get in touch with me, then let me know your name and address. If you email us at twinsetandpurl@gmail.com, I will send that off to you with maybe some other little goodies that we have. So I think we just quickly mention what we're drinking out of today. So we've got coffee, if we could bear it. These are our Anta
Scotland
mugs that we bought, that we talked
It's got
about.
an H in it.
No.
Anta.
Scotland, that we talked about with our bags that we bought back just after in the last episode, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so check that out in the show notes. If you haven't seen the last episode, last episode show notes. Or maybe we'll put them in again.
And I've written up the instructions for
the changing the yarn for the one single striped sweater. So I will add that to the last. Is it the last one or the one before?
I think it was the one before when I wore it.
I'll put it in this. We'll put it in this one's, and we'll put it in the.
Yeah.
We're talking about it now.
Yeah, and it was I took it to the Isle of Man to talk about, and that's where.
So where did you put the video on our channel?
I haven't got a video.
Oh right, you didn't. I thought you'd done a video.
No, I didn't do a video.
Okay,
I talked about it, and then I've written it down.
Right, so we'll find where that is and put a link to that episode in the show notes. Right. Bloody hell. Oh, excuse me.
Right, so we're on to what we're wearing. What I'm wearing.
Well, let's talk about. Let's go straight on to FOs.
Okay, well, it's an FO Anna.
Yeah.
Anna, what I'm wearing. So this is my Halloo by Caitlin Hunter.
Boiler Knitworks. I look so shabby compared to you.
It is designed and
I have got a slightly posh white t-shirt.
I've knitted it in merino linen from Zakami Yarns.
Beautiful.
In their Turkish Delight colourway, and I absolutely love it. It's this peachy colour, which has got like a watercolour kind of effect. It's like
it's tonal,
and then every now and again you get a little pop of orange or a little pop of blue or a little pop of pink, and I just love it.
Yeah. These are the bobble. They're very tiny bobbles.
Yeah.
Probably can't see them on screen as you get a bit closer, but they're. If you look at it's because Jo's done hers in 4-ply and it's actually a DK weight pattern.
Yeah.
So if you look at the pattern on Ravelry and other people's projects, you'll see the bobbles probably a bit more
and
prominent.
some people have done it without bobbles.
But that's a shame, really.
Yeah, no, I like the bobbles. There is one row where you have to do 56.
But then it's
54 bobbles.
It's just a.
In my size, in this size. I mean,
Don't
if you're
you
doing
think
a bigger
that's just like
size,
a
you've got.
up
Oh yeah,
moment?
no, and it was just sit and make sure you've got enough time and just sit and do it.
Oh,
I love the. What was that?
I don't know. It was like. It's next door's garage.
Oh right.
Apologies.
The patterns, they're lovely. I knit the yokes really quickly, as you do with a lace yoke, where you just want to be on the next thing. I love the neckline. It's this V at the front and V at the back, the same as the Easy V, with this like little saddle shoulder. And
it would be beautiful just plain, actually.
Yeah. Melissa from Sonda Yarns has knit a plain
She has.
one.
In DK, hasn't she?
In DK. So it's meant to be DK. I knit.
What size would you have knitted in DK?
3. I knit a size 4, and I went up a needle size. So I went up to a 4mm.
You can't tell, can you, on the
3.5 for the rib and 4mm for the. Well, in a single merino single, I think it does bloom.
You've blocked it.
And I've blocked it, yeah.
Just do you want to quickly show them the length you did?
Yeah. So I did a crop because I only had 2 skeins. In fact, I've got a little bit like 40 grams left over, because what I didn't want to do, what I did with my pink velvet, Andrew Mary pink velvet, I knit the full 2 skeins, and then it's in a really awkward, length. Yeah. It's too short to wear just on its own with jeans, and it's too long.
You could wear it with those trousers though.
Yeah,
because you wore that all day yesterday and you were fine, weren't you?
Yeah, but I'll be able to wear over a dress.
Yeah.
Whereas the pink velvet I can't wear over a dress. Right. So I intentionally stopped with some left. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Add it in as a little stripe on something.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
I've got 2 skeins of undyed merino linen. I could do one with a stripe, just a plain. Anyway, no, it's lovely. I absolutely love it.
Have you got any more FOs?
Yes.
Okay.
I've got one more FO. Have you got any FOs?
I have got...
You've got a lot of
I've got
FOs.
4 FOs. And I just dropped my pen on. Oh, never mind. So I'm going to quickly do my 2 shawls, and then I'll...
Oh, I haven't trimmed the ends. Oh well.
So I'll try on the shawl for you, but I'll quickly talk about my... So this was my cashmere cowl, tube cowl, that I cast on straight away after my other tube cowl, and I love it. It's 150 gram, I didn't bring down the tag, I've talked about it before. Jean Tellier lace weight cashmere, but it looks made, I haven't sewed an end in it, but it looks,
it looks bought.
So what I did was just knit until I thought I had enough yarn left to cast off, and this is my 30 minutes of knitting, along with another, I do about 5 whips every morning, 30 minutes of knitting, because I don't have to get up. And I did do a crochet cast off, except this time I did the hook the same size as the needle, if not one smaller, and I didn't do a single, I didn't put a yarn over, I didn't do a double. I just literally did a slip stitch and then went through the next, like a cast off, and it's fine, it's perfect, and it's so lovely. It's so soft, you could feel how soft it is. Yeah, so that, I don't need to talk much more about that. But the beautiful thing that I did finish, and I did talk about, so when the last podcast, I think I was testing this for Joe for the accessories club, and I think I'd just done the first welt and a little bit of this kind of arrow slip stitch. I hadn't got onto the reverse stocking stitch stripes.
The garter stitch
stripe, sorry. And then you repeat this slip stitch pattern, do another welt, and then when you knit these rows, and when you do the lace, it makes it go scalloped like that, and that's a beautiful picture of the lace. And I love it.
So Rachel's in different. Mine was in non-superwash fingering weight.
Yeah, and mine is in. This is definitely the navy blue is yak,
and it's definitely drapier.
Yeah, from Beliki, and it's massive. I blocked it. It's massive. It's big. To make it a bit tighter up here. Oh, don't. Yeah. So you, this basket weave beginning bit kind of scooches up.
Yeah.
And then you have, this is the centre. And I did try and pin out each of my laces, but just didn't hold for some reason.
Probably the yak.
But it is lovely. And I would knit it again. Everybody. So let's just show you the lace when it's on. And this is this is the same lace that I used on the Edwina socks. So I am very tempted to put this lace onto a cowl, just my kind of style cowl. And I might have the pattern ready for cowl. It'll be a freebie. Cowl month in October, so that's not very far away. But I have got some yarn. Oh, I've got some other things to knit though.
So at the moment we've still got Scrappy Sock cowl going on till February.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about. And
we've got Alpine Bloom
finishing in
at the end of this month.
Yeah. So
and then the cowl one will start when that finishes.
And then we're doing Bridgerton sock along.
Yeah.
For November and December, and 2 new patterns will be out for that. So yeah,
cool.
So that's an FO.
So I've got a shawl FO.
Yeah.
Which is my Maggie shawl. I knit when the Maggie came out. I've got all the ends. I've sewn all the ends in. I haven't blocked it, and I haven't trimmed them off yet. But I wanted to start another Maggie, and I had this.
Off-screen fanning.
I had this skein of merino linen from Botanical Yarn, which was in Sophie's lonely skein bucket at a open studio, and I found all these minis and scraps of minis from when I knit the floral facet shawl, wrap, whatever, scarf, and I put them into I sorted them out into the order I wanted them.
You had a lovely picture on Instagram, didn't you?
Yeah.
Of them in a circle.
Yeah. And then I just knit until the scrap had finished.
Yeah.
And join the next one in. So to go from this
end is my favourite. So this has got like murky greens in it.
And then
how
there's like a
how good our
pinky,
light is.
pinky peach. And
Shall I
then
turn the lights on to see.
Yeah.
Sorry. Alexa, dining on.
That's better.
Yeah, now you can see the murky green.
And then it goes through different burgundies and purples. And then I put in this brighter purple.
Did you have a tiny amount of it?
I had a tiny bit of it, yeah. And then back to sort of darker purples, then into these tealies and greys and ending with a turquoise.
Perfect.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah. And you did this on holiday?
I knit this on...
No?
No, did I knit it on holiday? Yes, I did knit it on holiday. I was knitting it in the queue at the airport and on the airplane. And
but they are lovely, and it just shows you that you can literally use anything to make a Maggie, because one of the things is, the beautiful things is the way it makes the reverse garter stripes just kind of meld everything together.
Yeah.
But you do get this lovely, where the slip stitch happens, you can see it's like 1 by 1 stitches of the colours you're using. So, yeah.
And on the I-cord.
Yeah, so it's I really want to see one in two yarns, in 2 yarns. So I've been looking through my yarn a lot recently, and I must have 6 versions of Maggie ready to go.
Yeah.
But I do think you should have one. You can have one on your needles. It's like knitting a vanilla sock in a way. They're so. Memorisable patterns.
Yesterday we were looking at yarn, and how many times
I know, everything we looked at was like, that would be a perfect Maggie. So I am definitely planning.
Well, we've definitely both got another one each.
We have, yeah, but I'm definitely planning some stash.
We all share the yarn in our acquisitions.
Yeah.
We met 2 lovely companies yesterday, ladies at different companies yesterday.
So I'm definitely planning some stash Maggies.
Yeah,
that's for sure. So moving from Maggie
shawl
to Maggie socks, I finished my August Bird Street socks in Merlin. So this is I've talked about these before. Beautiful yarn, which was an older skein of mine, because it had the older label, or Mr. B label, and they both, when I mentioned it to them, they both said how much they love it. They had some on the alpaca cashmere silk, but it's much more muted. And they both said they forgot how much they love it when they. So it's got these turquoise, tealy speckles. So it's probably easier to show you the pattern, not on a blocker to be fair. And so I just literally worked out how big a garter ridge I could have in the middle, and put the lace either side. So this, and I have written the pattern up and it's being tested at the moment. So this will be coming out very soon. We didn't talk about our fundraiser. Talk about that now briefly. Yeah. So you might have seen on Instagram that I put up the total that we raised. So we released the Maggie shawl on the 11th of August when we were in the Isle of Man.
Yep.
And we gave all our pattern sales until the end of August, plus all the sales of Maggie. And the sales of Maggie, the socks out now, from when I published the pattern, and the shawl will always go to Maggie Centre. But we gave them all of our pattern sales to the end of August, and we managed to raise, we made just under, well, about £670. but we rounded it up to 700. So we donated £700 to them. And the sock pattern, I hope, will be out by the end of September to start raising a bit more for them. So we'll have another little release.
While I'm thinking about it, can I talk about my skipping?
Yeah, you can.
So, the other day I was on Instagram and a thing came up for cancer research, to raise money for cancer research, to do 100 skips a day. And they send you a skipping rope and you do 100 skips a day in October.
Cancer Research UK?
Yeah. And I thought to myself,
I could do that.
I can't run a marathon. I don't know if I could do 100 squats a day, but I think I could do 100 skips.
Yeah.
So I've signed up to do it, and I'm going to be putting it, I'll put the link to my fundraising page in the show notes. And I'm also going to put some stuff on Instagram. But yeah, I think, you know, if anybody's up for seeing a slightly...
And when you get to 50 or 70 or whatever, and you feel like giving up, you just think, Rach can't do that at all.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know, 50-something, slightly overweight, not very fit woman, giving it a go.
Yeah, you will, and it might, well...
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to make me a bit fitter. Give it a go.
There seems to be a lot more cars at the moment now.
We'll give it a go for...
apologies for that, but we are going to... It's either have the window open or don't podcast. So, sorry if you're getting annoyed with the
if
cars.
anybody would like to donate to my fundraising, that would be very much appreciated.
So, shall I talk about my whip that's a Maggie at the now?
Just to show the colours.
Yeah, so I finished my first stripy Maggie. And
it's very subtle.
It is very subtle. And I used a Zower ball but I do want ones that I'm going to wear.
Yeah, no, it's lovely.
So it's the main colour is Stone by Hedgehog Fibres, and which is a very grey beige. I'm finding it hard to. I'm just going to get the other one to show you how much I've done.
So you've got quite a neutral foot and then a jazzy leg. Are you going to be able to match them?
No, they're not matching.
Well, not matching, but are you going to get green on the top?
Yeah, definitely green. It's going to be no. It's going to be bluey.
Oh, completely different.
Yeah, so I started where I finished. So it's now got the grey to blue. So I haven't done very much of the second one. Can you hold that one instead? If I get the yarn out, that's what's drying this down. So it's just about to go into the greens again now.
You probably see it better on that back.
Yeah. So I managed to get a good photo for the pattern. But it's just about to go from, this is the last bit of the blue, and then it's going into the grey again, the green again. So it'll probably be most of the leg that's
lovely. And that's a really sweet pattern.
Yeah, so I talked about all of this information about the colours and everything has been in the show notes before, last time's show notes. So it's not going to be, oh, that's all that back, put in my bag. We won't talk about it when it's the whips.
Oh, right, okay.
Next door is supposed to stay in bed until we finish. Midnight. Right, so one last FO I've got. Have you got any more?
No.
Let's check everything on the floor. All my whips were living in this beautiful pamper bucket. And now they're scattered around. So I finished my King George socks. So very quickly, and they are nearly written up. And this is one of the patterns that will come out. It's going to come out towards either the end of October, beginning of the Bridgerton sock. I can't speak. Just all of a sudden. Anyway, and it's got this twisted stitch design that is called Wheat, and it made me think of King Farmer George. I have mentioned that before, but I do love it. And yeah, so I finished both of them. And the pattern is nearly written, but as I've mentioned, I do have problems at the moment with my days, which days of the week I can actually see the laptop. And it seems to be getting worse. It's apparently due to water retention in my lens in my eye. So I don't know when that's going to change, but I'm trying, and I really am making an effort to try and write the patterns up, because I have been a little bit, what's the word? Letting it stop me, and I don't want it to stop me. So, yeah, so that pattern will be in testing pretty soon, and hopefully, well, that's a while now, isn't it, to end of October to get that out. And that's it for FOs. So, you look like you've got lots of whips, my dear.
A few.
What do you want to start with?
So I've got 2 new shawl designs.
I'm just going to quickly say to you,
yeah.
Have you got your sock with you?
Nope.
No. I was going to say, well, I'll talk about socks at the end. If you've got a sock.
I haven't got a sock.
Okay, you have?
I have. I've got lots of socks, but I haven't got any of them with me. I did work on my.
I was going to say your Una.
I did work on my Una on holiday a little bit, but I did get distracted by the other whips.
Okay.
So, a few of you, if you've watched the podcast for a while, will remember that I did. Well, we had the Cecil shawl, and then I knit a 1 skein garter based on some of the Cecil numbers. So try and give people an option for using up 1 skein.
Yeah.
And this hasn't been blocked yet, and I think when it's been blocked, it's going to be, it's going to be decent size, perfect size.
And it's a crescent, it's not like a lot of shawls have come out since the Sophie shawl, or Sophie scarf, then Sophie shawl, and they do go to a point, so they are triangular, which isn't necessarily easiest to wear on a 1 skein, because I think it tends to go to flip up.
Yeah.
And it's quite, where do you put the point and all that? So a crescent is my favourite to wear. Is it as easy to style as the Morris and the?
I think so.
Yeah. And it's in this beautiful.
Yeah. This colourway is called Mudbound, and it's by Black Elephant. It's a merino single, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, the speckles are just amazing.
And the speckles are amazing. But the other 2 kind of go together, and they don't go with that one. So I've got some yarn to show you that I'm going to re-knit.
So Jo's decided she's doing 3 designs that will be 1 pattern.
Yeah.
What do we say?
We're going to call it the Power of 3, which is a reference to Charmed,
and the
TV show about the 3
witches. Did you find out the names of
this? No, we're going to call each of them after one of the witches.
And there's going to be a textured.
Yeah.
And a
lace.
And both of them are pretty reversible.
Not lace weight yarn,
lace design. And they're both pretty reversible, aren't they?
So this is the textured pattern, and it's actually the same pattern as is on the Salvia Solace.
But sideways.
Yeah. So it's this sort of basket weave. It's such a simple knit and purl pattern.
It's beautiful, very effective.
Really effective.
And this yarn is lovely.
This yarn is Knitting for Olive merino cotton. I haven't got the label, apologies. In the colourway.
This was shown as an acquisition.
Yeah, I think actually I've got another ball of it in here.
A couple of podcasts ago. Maybe last one actually, you'd gone on a lunchtime walk. Which just happens to be via her local yarn
olive
store.
Cotton merino in dark ochre. Not how I'd spell ochre, but anyway, ochre.
It's lovely.
And this is slightly longer than you would get in a normal skein. It's 250 metres for 50 grams. Right. So I am going to knit it
to 400 metres.
To 400 metres. Right.
Is it as, do you think the gauge is the same? Because it's not like it's expensive yarn.
No.
And there's quite a few yarns now that are 200, you know, that length to...
I'm just doing this, I'll judge it, I'll see how
Well,
big.
it doesn't need to be any bigger than that.
No.
The garter one. So.
This is the yarn that I'm going to re-knit the garter one in. And I've got no idea what it's called. It's by Olan. And I do think it's discontinued. Yeah. I don't think they do a lot of...
They've got them bust.
Oh yeah. They don't dye anymore.
Well, not bust, they stopped. Apologies if...
They've stopped hand dyeing. Yeah, so this is... And I think that goes nicely with that.
It does.
And then the third one is the lace one, which I'm absolutely obsessed with at the moment. And this is in...
Sorry, it's down as a pencil. She's got it.
It's by Bird Street Yarn, and it's called Ephemera. It's on their sock yarn, and this is lovely.
You can't put it down.
I can't put this down.
And both sides are lovely.
Yeah. So this is the lace pattern, and it's also like a basket weave,
but with lace,
with yarn overs. And then the back of it, I didn't realise what the back was going to look like, because obviously in a stitch book they don't show you the back.
And this is the purl side, obviously. Yeah, so it's like diagonals.
It's like scallops.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, so it kind of doesn't matter when you wear it. You fuss it, don't you?
So the lace one, you obviously get you get more. You could knit longer when you're knitting lace than when you're knitting texture.
Because you get more.
So holes. At the moment I'm weighing it to see how big I can get it. But ultimately, you can use any yarn you want and just keep weighing it. And
she's going to give you.
I'm going to give you
some
instructions
as well. Could you put the patterns onto the bigger shawls if you have two skeins and you like the pattern?
The only bit you don't get is the bit where you increase every other row.
And that might change it for
but if you were, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not beyond. You don't actually do that for very long.
Yeah.
On each of them, and it's not beyond any comprehension. I guess kind of thing.
You could put any design onto it.
Yeah. Some of them are more complicated than others. This is an 8-stitch repeat and a 16 row.
Yeah.
This is a 6-stitch repeat and a 6 row or 12 row. So it's slightly different, like the mathematician's brain has had to work out a little bit of stuff. But I think those three will look lovely together on a photo shoot. So that's the three that will be in the power of 3.
Lovely.
So they won't be coming out. I know Maggie wants the lace pattern one for her holiday.
She can test it for you.
She can have. I'll have the pattern by then, but I don't know whether when they'll come out is what I mean.
Yeah. Will you do a test call?
Yeah, there'll be a test call. I mean, the patterns are almost written. What I need to do is get to the middle. Yeah. Get to the middle, and then start knitting the decreases and see how the decreases are going to work, and then I can write the patterns. So yeah, but I'm loving this, and I'm just deciding which one to work on is, is the challenge.
So what other whips have you got then?
I've got another new design.
Okay. You can wait a bit then, because I've got quite a few bits. So I have, since the last podcast, I was working on one sweater, on my sweater that I talked about last time, and maybe I'll talk about that first, shall I? And socks. So I really focused on, and I finished, apart from those socks, I've also finished my September, October and November designs, both socks of a pair. for the Botanical Yarn Sock Club. So I have knitted a lot more than I can show you because they're secret. I can't show you those. But I had to move my Silkity, which is the sweater I'm working on, into my handmade by Who bag, which is, I got in Knit City, a beautiful fuchsia colour or plum kind of colour, because it's got a hand, it fits my cone and it's got handles. That's the main reason.
Oh, that's lovely. I forgot you bought that.
So I'm using Coast.
We spent so long picking that colour.
We did, yeah. Holstgarn Coast, and it's got some love. I got a new pin. Did I get a new pin? No, I've got a new pin to go on it. Yeah. So this is Holstgarn Coast, which is 55% wool, 45% cotton in the citrus colourway. Yeah, that's what it says. And it's quite a thin. So you knit it to 4-ply, but it's 350 metres per 50 grams. And you'd be surprised how much it does knit to 4-ply. So when I showed this last time, I'd barely done any. I'd cast on and I'd set up my raglan. I think I'd done about that much.
Oh, so you knit back and forth to begin with?
Yeah, you knit the V, because it's a V-neck. So I'd set up my raglan stripy sleeves.
Is that it finished? You don't have to do anything around the neck?
Yeah. I'm tempted
because that rolls.
to crochet across the back to maybe stop it rolling. But then the front is fine.
Surprised it does not an I-cord on the back.
Yeah. Because you just cast on.
You could do an I-cord.
Yeah. Or why not just do a crochet?
Yeah.
Easy.
Just to make it even, that's what I was thinking. Is it I-cord?
It's not an I-cord on the front.
Is it not?
No, it's literally a...
Oh, right.
It just rolls because it's 3 knit stitches.
Oh, it looks like an I-cord.
Yeah, it looks like an I-cord. Hold it closer. So my plan was to, before the podcast, was just to get it in the round, but I love it. So I split for sleeves, and I've done about 2 inches of the body. The body's quite long.
I like how you've matched your needle stoppers to your
I bought these at the Southern. These ones. So it has this purl to knit to rib kind of not a side seam. I suppose it is a side seam. And then the body's quite long, so I have to knit to like 13.5 inches before the rib. But I'm quite happy about that. The fatter my body gets, the happier I am about a longer tee. So I'm not, at the moment, what I'm trying to decide is, do I make it a tee? Because I've got all this yarn. Do I do the sleeves longer and wear it in the wind, have it more for the... Because I'm not sure when I'm going to finish it. You know, it's still going to take me a while.
I'd have it as a tee, and I'll tell you why. Because you've got a limey yellow jumper that I gave you.
Yeah, that's true.
With long sleeves, and you can wear this with something underneath it.
Yeah. So you do an inch or so before you but you cast off in rib. It's not like they're that long. Yeah. I was thinking maybe I'd be tempted to do them to there.
Okay, then that's not. Yeah.
Or you either have to when you wear something underneath it, you kind of have to pick, don't you? But yeah. So I haven't done anything on this for a couple of days, but I am trying to do now 10 rows a day, which is about 1 inch. So yeah.
Right. Well, that's not bad. So a couple of weeks and you'd have that.
Yeah. So hopefully by the end of September, I'm hoping to wear it to Yarndale. Actually.
Oh right. Oh, that's a good plan then. You might have to do a little bit more.
Yeah. And it's just part of my. So I do. Well, like today, I've been awake since 3 a.m. So my 30 minutes of knitting are nearly done for all my projects. And yeah, I just do. So, other thing that I've been doing is I have joined in a few make-alongs. So a last minute decision was to join in the Ho-He Fall Knit Along.
The one that you were doing for the Dust Them Off, you've done that?
Yeah, I need to post them on Instagram. I don't think they were July's.
Right.
June or July's.
It didn't start till July.
All right, it was July's Bird Street socks that I knitted in the pink haze. So I bought yarn from Oxford Yarn Store for a Place of Peace wrap by Ho-He. Locatelli, if anybody doesn't, nobody should have not heard of Ho-He Locatelli. But I decided to do it for the Ho-He Fall Knit Along. And the yarn that I bought was Isaiah Alpaca 2 in colourway 61, and I think that might be 41. Quickly look in my notebook. It's all well, it's on that page there. 40. So the green is 40, and then their colourways match through their bases, other bases. And I decided to use alpaca 1 instead of mohair for the other triangles. So it's like a short row construction where you stripe those two, and then you use mohair, which has got a textured pattern, which I didn't realise until I started knitting it.
Which one does the tassels?
That does the finer one does the tassels.
I've got a skein of lace in this colour, if you'd like the tassels in pink.
Yeah, I think I might have one as well. So you do section 1. I've done section 1 and section 2, and I've just started section 3. And the only thing that I'm not liking is the way she just says you turn. You don't. There's no.
You don't wrap and turn.
Wrap and turn, and there are, which is possibly why she then added tassels, because there's holes where I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Well on. So I've done section 1, which is half a triangle of stripes, and I've done a whole section of the what would be the mohair, which has this texture on it, which I really like, and has inspired me to, when I cast on my West Yorkshire Spinners yellow lace weight,
you're going to do a
tube cowl, I'm going to do this texture on it. Just basically knit 3 rows, knit and purl 1 for a row.
Oh, right.
And yeah, so there's not a huge amount to show yet, but I love these colours together. And there's a long way to go.
How many repeats
I can't remember. I think it's, so the section 3 is half a triangle again, so that between section 1 and section 3 you make up the, I think, or maybe, yeah, because you repeat section 1 again. So 1 to 3, so it makes.
So you do half a triangle at a time?
No, you do half a triangle, then you do the other half of that's like the second half of a triangle.
Oh, I see. It's knit. Oh, yeah.
So then you do the next half, and then you do 1 again.
Right.
To make it do the other wedge.
Yeah.
But it's very quick, because once you get.
See, I thought it was done like.
No, it's not. It's literally a wrap, so it's straight.
Yeah.
But it's once you're doing the short row.
No, I meant straight, but like the short row from that point up like that to make a wedge.
Oh, no. So you literally do like every so many stitches across. And so yes, once you get off doing a whole row, it's really quick.
Yeah.
So like I finished a wedge this morning in my 30 minutes of knitting, but the stripy bit is knit 1 row, purl 1 row, knit 2 rows, so it's got the ridge.
Oh,
the
right,
one
so
colours.
also it's quicker because you do 3 rows
so
of knit.
one colours in a ridge, yeah. And it's going to be so light, and I just love these colours together at the moment. So, and it's living in a new Jibby Rousseau's bag.
Nice.
With hearts on, so my place of pieces. So I think I'm going to have to, at some point, I'm going to have to focus more than 30 minutes a day on it when it gets close to.
But you're probably going to want to.
I would like to do it during the knit along.
Yeah.
Which last year I failed on both fronts.
If you get your tea done.
And this can be the main. Yeah. Apart from, I'll do that quickly. We've got some surprise things to do to knit. Yeah. So Jibby Rousseau's bags are lovely.
Any surprises?
For us, it was a surprise.
Oh yeah.
So it's
unplanned, right?
Yeah. So they're very.
Is that the definition of a surprise?
In some ways.
Which one of us was a surprise then?
Me.
One of us was a mistake, and one of us was a surprise.
But they knew they were having one for 8.5 months. And then 2 weeks before we were born, they found out about the second one, and I was the second one. So I think. Right, so anyway, just quickly talk about Jibby Rousseau's bags. Loads of different fabrics, seasonal bags, blah blah blah, brings them out. And if you live in the UK, Etsy, they come really quickly as well. But I love that rainbow heart. Anyway,
Yeah, it's lovely.
so those are my 2 non-sock whips. What else have you got to talk about? A new design. Do you want to talk about the end? Then it's a bit more of a new design feature.
Well, they're all new designs, weren't they?
Yeah. Go on then, and then I'll talk about socks. How many socks have I got to talk about? I'll talk about one already.
So I bought this yarn at Flock Oxford from Oxford Yarn Store. It is Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the colourway Lamb's Ear. And when I bought it to knit a Morris cowl.
So we won't have the new.
And that is what I'm doing. So anybody who likes Morris but doesn't want a big Morris full-on shawl will be able to have a Morris cowl.
Oh.
So I've just started. It's a similar construction to the Fizzy Pop cowl. It has to be the other way round for the Morris lace to work. And it's also going to be, I'm trying to make it slightly not as much
Bulky in the neck.
Yeah. So it'll be about 8, maybe 10 inches rather than 12 inches, 8 inches rather than 12.
I
10
can't
inches.
remember.
Anyway, the 12 inches, the thing.
It's the noisiest car I've had yet.
Yeah, the Fizzy Pop cowl's 12 inches down the back.
Oh right, okay.
So I'm going to make this one.
I love my Fizzy Pop though, and I really think, I mean, it's not wool, is it?
No.
But for my one, for the winter, it's going to be, I can't wait to be able to wear it.
Yeah, so it's got the same garter ridge.
Should I shut this window? Getting a bit noisy now.
How much longer have we got to do? We've got
Acquisitions.
another hour.
Yeah.
Shut it for a bit and then we'll open it again I'll shut it and if we'll open it again if it gets too hot.
I actually feel quite cool, quite cool at the moment.
God, you alright? I've got my legs stuck. Let's get a view of my butt. So that's coming on. I only started that the other day.
Yeah, so you can't see any lace yet.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it might come out during the cowl.
Right.
But it depends how much test. I might have to get one or two people
That's
to test
only
it.
in a month, isn't it? So it's not like long enough to.
Yeah.
Might be a little surprise at the end.
Maybe Maggie would like to take that on her holiday.
Yeah, you can do it at the end of your.
Yeah.
So I have got 2 vanilla, 1 pattern.
All right, you can be quick about the vanilla then.
So this is quite quick as well. So I cast on my September.
The good stuff.
Yeah, September Bird Street socks, and somebody posted. No, it was Karen Photo 3P, who's got a really good feed. If you don't want to give her a follow on Instagram, she and I were chatting. She's a test knitter for me, and she said, just finished a pair of copper conifer socks. I love that pattern. Do you know what? I've knitted it maximum twice. Knitted it for the pattern, and then somebody done it in self-striping. So I think I did it in self-striping, though I can't find 100% remember. Anyway, I thought I'm going to knit a pair. So I cast on the pop of colour at the cuff, is the King George Malabrigo Ultimate Sock colourway in caramel. I was thinking autumnal, and might count for the Crazy Sock Lady summer sock camp just finished with the Crazy Sock Lady, and she did it really, pared it back this year, really simple, and really enjoyed it. So this, she decided to carry on. She loves Halloween and all that, and so she said more Crazy Spooky Mal is what one of my socks is definitely for. But I think these bring like autumnal feels to me. Anyway, maybe it's just that.
What's the yarn?
The yarn is Bird Street yarn for my September socks, Sleeping with the Fishes. Yeah, and you can see maybe the texture. It's like a slip stitch and then yarn over pattern on the inside. And they're called Copper Conifer, and they have heels and toes in this colour. So,
I think that's giving me autumn, and especially with more of that.
Yeah,
that would give me autumn vibes.
Yeah. So that's the yarn. It's beautiful, and I'm definitely having a teal and camel moment, coppery brown moment, as you'll see with some of my purchases from yesterday. Yeah, so those are Copper Conifer, and they are living in my little grey girl bag that Jo bought me, sock sack, which they are amazing. Perfect for knitting on the go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Scrunching up and putting in your bag. And then I'm just going to quickly look and see when I cast on these, if I talked about them. Last socks for Dad. 26th of August, no. So I was looking through my yarn and just decided to cast on the second skein of Katia Ava sock yarn that I have, because I'd shown it to my dad. I didn't think he would like these colours as much, but he loves this yarn. It's his favourite socks at the moment. So he said yes. So I very quickly actually did spend...
Oh, I can see you in them.
Yeah, I did spend an entire day for a 15-minute infusion at the hospital last Tuesday. So I think I had just got to about there on the leg, and I definitely was on halfway down the foot by the time I came home. So yeah, so this is an 8-stripe commercial.
Oh, they remind me of fruit
yarn.
pastels.
Yeah. And they do have that little bit of blip of white that he comments on, but tough luck, Dad. They are merino.
Oh, I want some fruit pastels now.
Well, fruit pastels. Oh my god. Buy the yarn, I'll knit you some socks. So they are beautiful. And then I used some Regia Merino Yak in the colourway that you want, but you can have the one out there. For heels and toes, because I didn't feel like trying to match it this time, even though they matched last time. But I thought that went really well. So if you're going to knit a sock that's actually a sleeve,
making a mess drinking today.
a sock that's actually a sleeve length. Yeah, I like that. And I cast on the second one straight away. And then this morning I did 30 minutes of knitting on it, and I can do 3 stripes in 30 minutes. So there's no rush for these. He's had 2 pairs of socks recently, yeah. So, but I do have a lovely marker, although I am counting stripes because I'm not really counting.
Oh, that is pretty.
So I have this lovely bird that goes with them.
Where's that from?
This was a little present from Rachel from Fly Dyed when we collaborated on the Socks on Fire socks. Yeah, she sent me some Progress Keepers.
Lovely.
Yeah. And that's living in a bag by Bags by Jean, one of my favourites, from the local coffee shop. And then I just cast on this pair. It wasn't living in this yesterday, but it's been moved to my autumnal, my only True Autumnal bag, which is by Soap the Yarnalicious. I am going to get one with a new one at Yarndale. Hide it from my husband. We all hide.
God, you're hiding what you bought yesterday.
So we were looking through my yarn, weren't we? And we saw this skein of Malabrigo sock, which obviously I love. This is hand dyed, but I love like independent hand dyers. But leading up to, I would say that Malabrigo sock is my desert island yarn. And this one is called Gobber for some reason. I don't know if you can see the lovely. So we thought it was going to micro stripe with this like orangey brown, and we thought this definitely was fall for the crazy spooky fall mount. So if you look on her Instagram, she's pinned to her feed the information about the mat if you want to join in. It goes on till the end of October, and so I'm saving my more Halloweeny yarns for October, and I'm doing fall this, which maybe doesn't make sense. You're going to wear them in October. I'll wear them for Halloween.
Yeah.
So this is how it's knitting up. Oh, I think it's lovely. It's kind of swirling, and yeah, and it's got. I'm using my Les Garçons Maxim Sia Progress Keeper, and it kind of reminds me of me in my old Ray-Bans that I used to own. Yeah, so yesterday I cast them on to take to unravel, and I did not finish the cuff till we were in the car going home, did I? Didn't hardly do any knitting at all.
You didn't knit going home?
No, I didn't knit going home. Did it last night then. And
we ate hula hoops
this morning
going home
in half an hour.
We're such kids. We're in our 50s, and when we get together we have to go and buy pop and crisps to eat in the car.
So this morning I did 30 minutes for knitting, and I knitted 20 rows. So they're going to be quick, hopefully, as well.
Oh, they're lovely.
And this,
I might have to buy some of that.
And my stitch marker I made. I bought some of these Murano glass beads from Amazon.
Oh, they're lovely.
And I made
Let me
stitch
see.
markers.
You made me some.
I did, I think. Make some more. I've probably got enough stuff. Before I retired, got my retirement, and I thought I was trying to work out what I could do. I made stitch markers, and I probably got enough to make 2,000 stitch markers in a little tray in the back of the yarn bit in my second wool. I've got 2 wool rooms.
I'll have some of them then.
Yeah,
Thanks.
okay. I'll make them. And yeah, so that's quite pretty, isn't it?
Perhaps you could make some to go with the pouch.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll make you some, Heather, to go with your pouch. Yeah, so beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Don't know how. I'll put some pictures on Instagram because it's a participatory mal, not a finishing mal. So it's just to join in and enjoy all the fall and the Halloween yarns and everything.
Oh, that's nice. We like those kind of mals. That's
Yeah.
our Alpine Bloom.
I'm just going to show
How
you
it's
my
like, isn't it?
my little notions pack, Longchamp notions pack. Who doesn't need a Longchamp notions pouch? Cost as much as the project bag. Right, so that's it for whips.
That's it for whips, peeps.
And now
On
talk
to.
about acquisition.
Oh no, we're going to talk about that.
All right, put it on there. For the giveaway.
Yeah. Can you reach it?
If I don't knock over my water.
So
Taking
we
the prices
walked.
off. No. Taking the prices off.
No, we walked around the Unravel yesterday, and we knew we wanted to get a little gift for one of you lovely viewers, because
Hopefully someone who didn't get to go.
yeah, and we wanted to support some of the different vendors who were there.
Yeah.
So we bought this little. Oh,
We've had no food yet today.
we bought this little pouch, pencil case, whatever you want to use it for. and this washi tape
from
Wensleydale
long wool. This is knitting fabric that changes colour. Doesn't change colour. It's like a rainbow as you go down the washi tape, and it's useful for, you can put it on your, it comes off, it comes off your paper if you want to use it as a
this is the felted sheep design by Emma Ball on the pouch.
So that's, we're going to do it as one prize.
We're going to do it as one
I've
prize.
got to post it off.
And then
sorry everybody,
this little tin was from
the knitting gift shop.
The knitting gift shop. Sorry about the noise.
We love the knitting gift shop. So if you ever think that you might need to look for a little gift, obviously it does come up, I'm sure.
Oh, this is Emma Ball Limited as well. Ooh. By Eric Haymain.
But I think the stitch markers are there. They're not. The stitch markers inside.
Right. And inside.
And they're not. And
they're actually progress keepers. So there's a bee, like a wreath with a little flower, and then some little bees.
Oh, that's lovely. That's all flowers and one little bee,
and there's 4 little bees.
Yeah, so that's
in there. So that's going in that, comes in that tin.
The lovely, I can't remember her name from Greeting Cards. So she's just recently started, well not recently, but quite recently, in the last year and a bit maybe, been making stitch markers. She's on Instagram, The Green and the Glass, and they're beautiful. We've bought some for ourselves. Didn't we buy some for them?
No.
We bought this, and she has just started doing so. So she did Yorkshire Yarn Fest in November, and now she's been at Unravel, and we bought one each for ourselves. We bought one for you, and it says "Getting through the day, one stitch at a time." And they actually, without thinking, it kind of all goes together. Yeah. So that's the prize, That's the giveaway for this week. This episode 33, and I think we will come up with a prompt this time. So this is
how about telling us what you're knitting for fall.
Yeah.
What are you knitting now that, well, I know in the Southern Hemisphere
so the prompt will be
summer, or spring.
No, I don't think we should say that. I think we should have I'm going to. So there's one more yarn show. That's not because it's Yorkshire Yarn Fest. Yarndale, or.
Well, what if they're not?
If they're going to Rhinebeck. If they're not, I suppose. You could say not. No, maybe you're right. Sorry. Yeah. What's your favourite thing to knit at this time of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what's on your needles? What do you want? Just what's on your needles, maybe. Sorry, we haven't discussed this maybe you don't need a prompt then.
What's your favourite thing about this season? Whether it's spring or whether it's autumn.
Yeah.
What's your favourite thing about the next season we're coming into?
So not even knitting related?
No, anything. It could be anything.
Yeah.
My favourite thing about spring, my favourite thing about
And we
autumn.
will choose my favourite thing as the prompt, as the thing we choose. Great. Cool. So we'll write that in the show notes.
Yeah.
So that you
sorry about the noise as well.
And I might put everything inside the pencil case when I send it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that will be open. We are going to podcast when we go to Yarndale.
Yes, in 2 weeks' time.
In 2 weeks' time. So that's 2 weeks to get your comment in.
Yeah.
Cool. Brilliant. So now we're going to
do acquisitions. So if this
isn't your thing.
Yeah. We appreciate that not everybody likes this.
And we're glad that you've
stuck around. I mean, we've got a nice long episode. It's now over an hour.
Yeah. So that's I put that over that way.
Yeah.
So so now we're going to move on. I'm going to talk first about the Southern and what I got from there, and then I accidentally showed you my barber cords. I hadn't even remembered that I bought them.
Oh right.
I bought them. So Yes, I said Maggie very kindly came and got me because she has to drive from Somerset and I live quite near to Newbury, 20 minutes, but it's still
I don't think it matters.
an extra 20 minutes here and then back to Newbury.
And also you never quite know what's going to happen on the A34.
No, that's
you can
very
be stuck
true.
on the A34 for a long time.
So my husband did come and pick me up at
Yeah.
the end of the day. A little bit more in Jodie style. I'm going to have a little bit more lip gloss on my lip. And yeah, so we went on the Sunday, and it was fun. It was a lovely day, and we did a loop of the Great Hall, and the only thing I bought was this yarn from Dragon Hill Studio, which I could not resist, and is also.
Was it a special one?
It was part. I think it was one of their sock club.
It is lovely.
It's not new, I don't think. It's on
Right.
their yak base, which is Brecon sock. So it's 70% superwash merino, so 20% yak, 10% nylon. And this is the colourway Winter Warmer.
Oh, it is
And
lovely.
they wrap their yarn so lovely. So they cake it for you and then they show you the colours on the outside. So it's got this colour I'm obviously apparently drawn to at the moment, like a orangey rust colour. Yeah. So and I bought.
And what sort of stripe is that going to be? Thin,
It's
thick stripes and thin
Yeah,
stripes?
thin stripes of grey with thicker stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
So I'm going to cast those on next month, I think. Although, and then I bought a mini of the ochre greeny colour, which is called ochre, on the same base. But their minis are 25 grams, so you can definitely you could do cuffs, heels, and toes.
Yak. I think I need a yak, Maggie.
So you're going to buy some minis from that?
No, I've got when I show what I've bought, I've got a skein of undyed yak that's going to go with something.
Yeah. So I love that. I love their striping yarn, self-striping yarn. I have bought a lot in the past, and they have their staple colourways. So I don't always buy from them. I did buy from them at last, and Ravelry haven't knitted it yet.
I bought the second pair of socks I ever knit was in their yarn, and it was on a high twist, and I didn't like it.
Yeah,
but that was beautiful.
Yeah. So I was chatting to her husband, and they've just put up pre-orders for their Christmas yarn. So if you like a self-striping Christmas yarn, it is speckled and red, and it is lovely. I'm choosing not to knit Christmassy socks this year.
And they weren't there yesterday as a stand.
They're going to Yarndale.
She was doing a talk, wasn't she?
Yeah,
or a class.
A workshop.
She was doing a workshop.
But they're not. They're coming to Yarndale, but the Christmas yarn is a pre-order.
Right.
So if you follow them, or you don't follow them, sign up for their newsletter if you like it. If you like a Christmas yarn, and then we went into the other place, which I cannot remember the name of, and we were chatting to John and Claire first of all before we had some lunch, and I was Bird Street Yarn, and I don't know. I can't show it now. I'm not letting people watch us. So I was interviewing yarns for Colin and Penelope socks, because I'm only doing one sock for season 3 of Bridgerton, and I was looking at this, I couldn't put this down, this rust, but it is very tonal, I think, if you see it up close. And this is their gingerbread colourway.
Pop him next to...
Yeah, so he's King George, and it is different.
Yeah.
And the pattern is going to be a lacy, it's not lacy, it's got lace in it. And anyway, this is
That's
Claire.
going to be Colin.
Yeah, so Claire gave me a skein to design the socks in, and it's called Gingerbread, and we're actually going to release the pattern in November,
ready for
the season 3 starting in December, because they are doing a pop-up. It's either the one at Oxford Yarn Store, or it's after that. It's the pop-up, they're doing wool on the X. They're doing a pop-up wool on the X.
Where's that?
Exmouth, I think, or
Oh, right.
Exeter. It's on the X somewhere. But we will give you more information, and I will obviously show you the socks. I don't even know if I'm going to keep them a secret. It's my possibly last design. It's last design I'm planning to do because it's getting difficult to. It's not getting difficult to design. It's getting difficult to write the patterns up. So yeah. So that was from.
You never know. We might work a way out doing it.
Yeah.
There might be less of them.
Yeah, and then I'm still going to be publishing the Bird Street Botanical Yarn Sock Club up until June next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I really wanted to go one place I really wanted to go to. They were also in this haul. Was all wool that ends wool, because I love their stitch markers with the bead on. And I went with my autumnal theme without even realising.
Oh, they're lovely.
Yeah, so there's like.
I bought from them before.
Yeah, I think you have. It's like burgundy ones and an orangey rust.
I need to do a trawl of my room.
Yeah.
Because
and they had. I bought some tiny ones for socks, and actually prefer this size socks. So anyway, they're lovely. And then I didn't end up buying. I wanted what I thought the yarn Jo had used for her Cecil, which is from Witchcrafty Lady, and I knew it was Corriedale. It was Corriedale, wasn't it? Cormo. Anyway, in fact, it's very drapey. I wanted something drapier than what I've got, and I'm going to restart my Cecil with different colours. So I ended up buying.
Mine was like a grey, and that'll be nice with those colours you're going to do. So
I ended up buying Falkland Corriedale in 50-gram skeins, and 2 lots was £10. So, and I don't know which Unravel it was we bought. No, it wasn't Unravel. It was Unravel. It wasn't Unravel.
It was Unravel.
I bought red, pink, and orange Isaiah mohair.
Was it not at Waltham Abbey?
No, it wasn't. It was in Unravel. It was at Unravel. I bought Billum when they were upstairs, I think. Anyway,
it was Waltham Abbey.
So this is Witchcrafty Lady. It seems like she's been trying to get rid of a lot of yarn recently. So I'm not sure quite if she's starting to plan new stuff or what's happening. But I'm very happy with my drapey Corriedale, and my Cecil will start, and it's going to be red, pink, and orange. And I should have done. Well, I've got the cold. I'll use my blue for something else. Anyway, and then most of the day was spent chatting to lovely Sally, who is one of my test knitters and a friend now. And she had loads of friends with her, so we met them, and then we met as soon as we got there, we met Kirsty and Tracy from Wool and Wishes for a coffee, and they gave us, Jo and I, one of their pins each, which they've had made, which are beautiful, just to thank people for supporting their podcast. So yeah, so we've got one each of those. And yours? Oh, thank you. And that was all. Tracy. And that was all I bought. I didn't actually get Jo a present. I did so little shopping. I mean, I should have just got you some stitch markers or something. I didn't even think by then.
You'd have got me 4 of them.
I know. Sorry. So I'm so sorry I didn't get you anything.
It's all right.
So that was Southern.
I was thinking about you in Italy.
Yeah, I know you did. She bought me a leather handbag, and now I feel awful.
And some walnut whips. Some licorice.
Shush now.
Rachel loves the Haribo licorice, and you don't find it anywhere. And they had a massive bag in duty free, so I bought some for her.
I do like any kind of licorice, but I will eat it all. So licorice, all sorts, are so sugary.
But these are better.
Yeah, these are lovely.
Yeah. So on to Unravel. So before we start, I just wanted to. So this was the brochure, the programme that we got. We usually have a pattern.
It's in there.
It's in there, is
Apparently,
it?
as you said to us.
Oh, right. And this then is next month is Farnham October Craft Month. So if you're near Farnham at the maltings, they've got this craft month, and there's loads of things happening. So yeah, I'd
let me quickly look for the pattern while you
I would have a look.
me. She did say there was a pattern in it.
They've got the crochet twizzle instructions in here.
I'd like to do that. Watercolour and botanicals. Yeah, so yeah, if you're nearby,
Yeah,
and it's even probably worth travelling to.
just have a look on their website and see what's going on, because some of them are really interesting.
They do usually have a. I'm sure she said there was a.
There's a crochet pattern in there.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Oh, I'll have a look at the crochet pattern there. So we're going to try. Are we going to try and show you things as we bought them, or are we just going to show what we can do?
I was thinking we'd do it as we walk.
Let's try that then. That was like quite near the end.
I've also got that.
Show that afterwards.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
One other purchase.
So first of all, we went to the Great Hall. So I, unfortunately, have had to start using a walker when I'm doing a lot of walking. So because I get pain in my leg and I need to sit down, and the pain goes away. So we had to kind of manoeuvre. It is very disabled friendly at Farnham Maltings, but the lifts are slightly weird
And they take a long time.
So by the end of the day, Jo was just carrying the walker down the stairs. But first we went to the Great Hall, and the first stand was Jem, little grey girl, who we love, and we decided that we'd come back and buy yarn.
Yeah.
So we ended up buying project bags from her
because we both found some that we love.
Yeah.
So I saw this, and I couldn't resist. Parrots, cockatiels, budgies.
Beautiful colours.
I just love it. Absolutely love it.
Hold it a bit closer because the flowers aren't showing up red. There you go. Beautiful. And I chose this one with orange butterflies and oranges. Just love those colours. I think they make me think of end of summer vibes for beginning of fall.
And then I got another one because I paid for the fuel.
And did all the driving. So I got an extra treat, which is this beautiful, looks like curtains, I think, or wallpaper. Like a no.
It is like a cabbage rose, like a peony.
Oh right, it's a peony
type.
Yeah, the closed one looks, yeah. And bees, and I just love those colours. And this is her new. She hadn't actually released.
Yeah, this is her new size.
So it's like the sock sack with this handle on the back, but it's obviously for bigger. And she had them for sale. Obviously, had them for sale there. Yeah. But she hadn't actually talked about them.
And they're perfect for a 2 skein.
Yeah, and
shawl project
and walking and knitting.
So perfect for the 2 skein project designer.
Yeah. And the sock knitter.
Yeah. So then we walked around.
Went to Earth Yarn.
No, we didn't. We went to the.
And you also bought a needle for her.
I did. I bought a fixed Chowgu. Then we went to vintage. The vintage. These people.
Oh yeah. Wool decanted.
And they have their new. Each year they have a vintage, and they slightly change the makeup of the yarn depending on what that year's vintage is. 100% British wool, be the change, it says. And this is Polworth Romney and Black Shetland sheep. So the last one, she said, was slightly lighter because they've added 10% black Shetland sheep in, and that's the natural grey colour. Now, we were chatting to her about the fact that
we met them last year
design-
for the first time,
Yeah.
didn't we?
the fact that we design and
They put out a call for designers
Yes.
to work with them, and nobody replied.
or one person.
Was it one
replied.
person?
Yeah.
So Joe is going to.
I hadn't seen it.
but you're going to come up with you're
Yeah.
going to come up with some designs.
I've already got a design in mind that would work beautifully with on this yarn.
So is this the natural?
That's
Yeah,
the
natural grey.
So we were chatting to her about our patterns, and we mentioned Maggie, the Maggie shawl, and she said, "Oh, I'd love that you're doing that for charity. I would love for you to knit one in my yarn, and then raffle, add it to the raffle."
Yeah. So for Maggie, Maggie Centre are going to raffle Joe's version and my version.
The original, and Rachel's version,
and now this one.
and now this one. So she, I can't remember the lady's name. I feel really bad. Sorry, we don't know your name, but I will know your name soon because I'm going to be working with you.
Yeah.
But the lady who was there, she plant dyes some of the yarn, and then they get other yarn dyed.
That's really
either
dyed
dyed
or
or
it's got their name on it.
either dyed or hand dye it with acid dyes, or they get it dyed commercially.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the colours that we picked for the Maggie to go with that.
So we have two skeins of that.
Yeah, and what I haven't decided yet is whether I'm going to
Go in and out.
Yeah,
I think you should.
yeah. So it's a 20 gram mini.
Wind them into 10.
Wind them into 10 grams and do. And this colour is Weld Natural number 2. This one is Indigo number 1, and that's Indigo number 2.
Gorgeous.
And then we've got Cosmo number 6 and Cosmos. Is it Cosmos or Cosmo? Cosmos number 7.
Lovely.
So I can't decide whether to do them.
Switch the blues up. Or,
Yeah,
or have the green in the middle and do light to. No, because that's Cosmos and that's Cosmos. I'd have them like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was very
Something
kind
like
of whatever your name is.
Being the
I'm
blue
really
lover,
sorry.
I'd have the blues on the tips, but
Well, no, don't you want the blues in the middle?
maybe.
I think I'm going to mix it up.
Mix it up.
Anyway,
You've got more of an eye for the colours.
I just think if you're going to wear it, we'll mix it up.
Yeah.
Or go half and then half, so you get all the colours in the middle. Yes. Anyway, you want to hear about that now? So thank you very much. Wool Decanted.
Yeah.
And I will be in touch with you or watch our podcast.
Yeah, and if you
but I will
like,
be in touch with you,
if you like, it's so soft.
yeah,
But if you like natural wool,
if you like
and
100% wool,
definitely give them a check. Are they going to be at Yarndale?
they're going to be at Yarndale. So I'm going to.
Oh, you come. We're knitting it to show them.
Knitting, pardon me. I'm knitting it to take to Yarndale.
And you have to use that.
Yes, and then I'm going to be coming up with I've come up with a design already, but I'm going to be
showing them some swatches.
showing her stuff. Yeah. In fact, I could do a swatch in that before I take a picture of it.
You might need all that though.
No, I'll be able to undo the swatch.
okay. So then we walked around.
We spoke to Telling Yarns. We went to Unearth Yarns.
First.
Yeah.
Did we not go anywhere? We looked in between, but
We didn't buy anything in between.
So Earth Yarns are from Turkey, and you may know that they do an amazing sock yarn, self-striping sock yarn. They sell in 2 balls that match. I knitted some blue ones.
And they do a lot. They do a breast cancer one
and a GG orange one and stuff like that, and the Christmas one. And they plant a tree. If you mention them on, every pack that's bought, they plant a tree. And then if you mention them on Instagram, they plant another tree. And
she was also saying that 10% of
from the sales yesterday was going to breast cancer.
Yeah, going to breast cancer.
So they had and she bought all this stuff over, and she was flying back to Turkey, so it was all on quite good deals.
Yeah.
So the sock yarn was £15, but I could not remember what I already owned, so I didn't buy any sock. But we were chatting to them again about Maggie. Yeah. And you had seen another shawl.
So Kim and Jonna, Knitting with Kim and Jonna podcast. Kim is knitting a papillon shawl in their yarn, and it looks like a butterfly, and it's basically short rows, and
she had one on, and
she had one on. She was wearing
remember who
it.
the designer is.
No, we can look it up though and add it in.
So she
either down.
And what we're going to show you is their most sold colourway for that shawl.
Yeah.
But we were showing her pictures of Maggie, and so we bought. She
loved the idea that we're doing it we do it for charity.
Yeah, and we hadn't actually done it in 2 yarns only.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's self-striping or variegated. Anyway, so we bought the colourway that is the most commonly bought for their papillon shawl, which is number 148. No, colour 26.
3026.
3026. And black, which is
Thuja.
Oh, right, okay. So, and they also plant a tree for this. So it looks like. So she was saying to us that if we knit it, I'm going to knit this one, and
take
Maggie, take pictures, send them to them. They have a million
followers
on their Facebook and stuff together, and they will post pictures of the shawl
with a link to the pattern,
which means we could make maybe an incredible amount of money for Maggie's. But she gave us, so we bought those 2 just for full disclosure, and then also for disclosure, she gave us this one because she didn't know if we'd maybe want to knit this version, which now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking,
I think for winter.
Yeah.
But Rachel's going to swatch.
Yeah.
And she's going to do a bit of both, because we were thinking.
I don't think like that idea.
Do you not like that idea?
No. Of going halfway and then half pale. I don't think so. I might do a whole half black and a half in that.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But no, I think we will do the black, and it will be the same as the colourways as the papillon shawl, and will look amazing, I think.
I think this is going to shine through.
Yeah.
Anyway. And that might dull it down.
I'm actually just thinking about knitting black yarn, but no, it'll be fine. And I think it'll be beautiful. And it is the reverse stripe, so it's already, that will shine through. Yeah, so that's Earth Yarns, and she was hoping that she's going to sell everything and not have to fly back everything. So yeah, so that was, definitely check out Earth Yarns though, because they are lovely people. And then
there's going to be 2 more Maggies on our needles.
Yeah, next week. And yeah, so yours has got to be, you're going to show them at Yarndale, aren't you? Hopefully.
Yeah.
And I'm going to.
And then we went up
to Telling Yarns.
Went to Telling Yarns.
We didn't buy anything from Telling Yarns, but Beth is lovely, and her bases, because she's now getting, John Arbon spins her base yarn, British wool yarn base for her, and she dyes the most beautiful colours.
And she has a fingering and a double knit.
Yeah, non-superwash. Beautiful. So check out.
And she's got some gorgeous new colours.
Yeah, so check out Beth. We didn't buy anything because we didn't have anything specific.
Yeah.
We were trying to be mindful the amount of yarn we bought.
We didn't buy that much.
No, but after I was looking through my stash, thinking I don't need anything. But then you'll see in a minute that there's some stuff we couldn't resist.
Then we went up. We made our way round, and somebody said it's hot. The barley room is really hot. So go there now, and come back down here. It's cooler. So that's what we did.
Yeah. So we walked in, and there was a new to us dyer who hadn't actually done Unravel before, called Moonlight Fibre.
And it sounds as if she does a lot for the community.
Yeah.
So it's well worth
checking.
We'll be checking out her website and her Instagram.
And having said that I wasn't in design, I love this colourway, and I would design a sock for her if she wanted to. So this is called Winged Sea, and of course it's got blue. There were lots, weren't there? There was one that was the first one I was drawn to, it was called Kingfisher. I was a kingfisher in the Girl Guides.
I've forgotten about that.
But then I saw this one, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
So, and from saying I'm not designing, what I want, my aim, I've got beautiful yarn that you can't get hold of anymore and stuff like that, but I've been saving, and you know, I want to knit socks in it. So they may just be vanilla socks, you never know.
But you've got lots of patterns you can reknit.
Yeah, that I can reknit of mine.
If you fancy designing a pattern, design a pattern.
Yeah. So
but when you're not collaborating with anybody, you haven't got any time pressure.
No, you can just do it as you do it.
And that needs to go in that bag.
Yes, when I knit them, they will be good. Yeah, so that was from, she's called Jo at Moonlight Fibre.
Yeah.
So we're trying to talk about the names, because they will be in, we will list the shops in the show notes, but we're not going to tell you colourways and things that we bought.
Sorry.
So you will, and you may not like that colourway anyway, but you can go and have a look.
And most people, we love the yarn. So,
and then next to her was green and glass. And so we both had some stitch markers from her. Progress keepers, mine are progress keepers too. So I had these purpley heart. They look a little bit like hearts, and then there's a kind of a bead with a flower, a glass bead with a flower. But they are beautifully made. And she's from the Midlands somewhere.
And then mine would go with your stuff.
She's definitely from the Midlands.
Yeah. On a pin.
So yes, they're lovely. And we also bought the bags that I had, like the same bag that we got for you guys.
Oh, where did that one go?
On like a, I think they're ice dyed.
And I got a nice corally.
Yeah, yours is lovely.
Reminded me of cocktails.
They had a bigger bag, a tote bag, didn't they?
Yeah.
But they didn't have them with this, as met enough with this logo on.
Yeah. But this is much more practical, much more useful.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a tequila sunrise cocktail.
Yeah, so go and check out Green and Glass on Instagram.
And then we went into, did we get anything else from that room? We didn't. We spoke to Knitting Shed because I have a new pattern coming out with them at Yarndale, the Axminster shawl. And we met Laura Penrose and Meg from No Frills.
And she was with Sophie,
Knit Purl Girl,
who'd given a talk. Had she given a talk?
No, it was Laura had given a talk.
Wasn't Laura?
I thought that's why Mel was saying Laura, she'd missed her.
No, it wasn't Laura. It was she's much bigger than that.
Oh right.
It was the, you got the programme.
Oh, that is
Sophie.
Girl.
Yeah, she was talking about crafting a business in knitting. Yeah, so she'd given the talk.
Ah, right. Sorry, misunderstood.
Yeah. So then we went to the air conditioned.
Yeah. So the tannery. No, not the tannery.
The Tyndall.
Yeah, that's had air. Somebody said, "Oh, that's got air conditioning." Yeah. So we're like, "Oh, we'll go there next then." And
I sat down and you shopped.
Yeah. And I found something. I really like this company, Lilliput White. They're based on the Isle of Wight, and they use.
That's the same pin I bought last year. I bought at the Yorkshire Yarn Fest. That's on my Notions bag.
Yeah, and I love those colours. Beautiful. So I think she uses little bits of Harris tweed, and little bits of to make or like this might not be Harris tweed, but little bits of scraps left over to make pin badges. And then I saw these two progress keepers that I absolutely loved.
I haven't actually seen those.
So one's this big bead. It just reminds you of a disco ball.
Like a faceted, yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one is, this is like two sides of my personality. I love things that sparkle and whatever, but I also like the muted, the muted grey.
And she does a lot of sea glass stuff, doesn't she? That's she finds. So she likes.
So this, it says in the back, this range of stitch markers has been made from this broken and unloved jewellery found in charity shops. Oh. These have been broken apart, cleaned and dried before being turned into stitch markers and given a second chance.
Oh.
And they were £3 each.
Yeah.
And I just love
Oh, so you pick them and you put them on the card?
No, it fell off. One of them fell off the
okay.
card. So she
put them together. But Lily put white.
Oh, and this one says this one. So that's that one.
Yeah.
Is the discarded.
Yeah.
The other one is made from a selection of beads being destashed by the talented Earth Balance Craft.co.uk. These special edition stitch markers are made from semi-precious gemstones in a range of earth and natural colours.
Very good. Yeah. So that was in there. Then you bought this bag.
And then I bought this bag, which this is the person who when you sent me the list of who was going to be there, I was like, oh, I'm so glad they're going to be there, because I had seen their stuff on a podcast.
And she also podcasts herself.
Yeah.
Yes, Alex.
But I'd never seen her anywhere.
No, she has shop updates, but they sell out.
Yeah.
So she designs and prints her fabric herself.
Yeah. And then
Alex Collins.
Yeah, and then makes the
and
bag.
You bought
and I also bought a little lavender bag. And I love this fabric. It's got I like the black and white geometric style of it.
The gold on it.
But then it's got little bumblebees.
Yeah.
Like they're looking at a sun. They've got a dot around them.
Oh.
And our dad's business was called AB Woodworking, and he had a bee as his logo. So I thought that was really cute. So I got that and the little lavender bag. I love a little lavender bag to put in things. So that was the Tyndall room, and then in the other we didn't get anything from the room that's adjacent to it. We spoke to Ida's house,
and that was about it really in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we went,
and that was hot. So that was like
2 rooms on the same floor. One was really hot, and one was So then we went to. Did we go down to the cellar?
We went and had lunch.
Yeah. And then we were chatting to our friend Mel, who we met at Unravel only in February.
Yeah.
And
Wool and
Wishes. And we were in there for over 2 hours, having coffee and lunch and stuff. And then we went down to the cellar bar. And in the cellar bar, the first thing we bought were these.
Yeah.
So there was a lady.
Actually, wasn't, that's fine.
Okay. Norfolk.
Limited edition yarns.
Norfolk Horn.
British wool.
She wasn't she? But it actually says fiberworkshop.co.
Yeah. So it was Norfolk Horn is the yarn
that she had.
Yeah.
So she had taken some and woven it.
Hand dyed it and woven it
into these pouches. So we had
there were a lot of plant dyers there yesterday.
So we had a pouch each with a different colour zip. I got orange and we couldn't resist them. So yet another little pouch for keeping things in. The Job Mush of project.
You pause.
We haven't got long to go now. You really need them. You can't pause, Jo.
Okay, well, you talk about that and your thing, and then I go.
So then we, down there was a local yarn shop called not sure I'm going to know, I can find it for you. Internet Cafe in the cellar. Yeah, she was in the cellar bar. Yeah, Internet Cafe. And she sells all sorts of commercial yarn. And Jo bought this brown Zauber ball, which is called Autumn Inspirations. So there's some new colourways that have come out recently in Zauber, Crazy Zauber. I hadn't actually seen this one before. Don't know. There you go. Beautiful colours. And this is probably going to be a Maggie. And that, if you look at it, just in case you wondered, is number 1153. Late autumn inspiration. That's cool. And I bought this long colour change yarn by Hurt Garn, and this is sock wool as well, possibly for a Maggie, possibly for socks. I like the colours of it. And this is colour 22. So you can either check them out on Knit Cafe. We will link the shop below. And then we went around the corner and discovered a lady who was Latvian, and she had been selling, she started off buying this yarn because she couldn't resist it. So this is a single ply, and they come out with new colours all the time. I'm not 100% sure what the company who makes the yarn, the yarn is called, but it's called 80 Skeins, and she sells, it's Dagger, which is the name on there. And I was just drawn to this skein. It reminds me of the first place I ever went in America was New Mexico. And after I'd been to the conference, I stayed with some friends in Santa Fe, and there was coral and turquoise jewellery everywhere. And this is late 90s, and you just didn't see it anywhere else. And I loved it so much. So that really reminds me of that trip. And then we were trying to find something to go with it, because these are big skeins. This is 173 grams, and it's £7 per 100 grams. So if you, and they do solids. So I ended up getting those two to go together. And I'm thinking I want to knit like a poncho. So it's not the softest. So I did end up getting some mohair, possibly just to put on the neck. I don't think I'm going to put it all the way through. I just put them here. I did, yeah, right. And yeah,
this
so
is
those
the one
two.
That I was going to put with my yak.
Right, for a Maggie.
Yeah.
I said it was going to be for a Maggie. Yeah, so those two are going to be together in a stripy poncho. And then we went back to the Great Hall. We didn't get anything else down there, did we?
No.
Back to the Great Hall, and we bought yarn from Little Grey Girl because we wanted to before. We didn't 100% know. We'd seen a couple of things that we liked, and
This is the only yarn, well, apart from that Zauber, this is the only yarn I actually bought.
wow. Yes, that's good. That's true for me too. Apart from,
Well, I bought that, that earth yarn.
yeah, you did. So I had, before we'd been talking to Jem about the bags, I had seen this fade, which is the C4th gradient, and I just love it. It goes to navy blue.
That's beautiful.
And we were trying, I would have just had this, but then we were looking at her solids, colours, tonals or whatever, and I chose this one to go with it. And then I was knitting my Bird Street socks this morning, and I was like, theme much? So this is, her yarn is all 75-25 but high twist sock yarn. And this is called, this is the colourway Lamberton. Yeah, so this is going to be a Maggie for me. Some Maggie's going to be presents. This is going to be Maggie for me.
Because your first Maggie's being raffled. You're the only one you've knit.
Yeah, so I won't
raffled,
have one.
So you
Yeah,
won't have one.
and that one's going to be probably for you. I think, because we're not going to give her the shawl,
No.
are we? We're just going to send her pictures.
Yeah.
So this is, yeah, so that's my little big girl. And then yours was from the bargain bin, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I got an unknown colourway in this purple high twist and a pinker one. So they'll go together for something.
Yes, we think with
Possibly with the mohair that I bought from Ted Knits.
yeah. So that was the second to
Because
last.
I think back that goes quite well.
The second to last place we shopped,
Yeah.
and I got a skein of sage, which goes to go with this.
And this is called Napoli, and it's from he had an Italian range, and it's I like Neapolitan ice cream.
Yeah. I am going to swatch this because I have got something I think might go better, but it is very soft.
So yeah. I liked the coffee art shawl that came out for the Southern.
Yeah, with Bird Street. Yeah.
Has a mohair border, and I really like that. So I think I might come up with something that doesn't have the twisted leaf.
This is the only thing we've got.
I won the gift for the so I quite fancy doing a later mohair, another little.
Yeah, and they've got
border.
yours. So
yeah, but it's not going to be a coffee art because I haven't got two. I need two skeins of.
So they have the mohair.
So some kind of
iteration. And then the last.
But that's down the line. So there's a lot more to be done in before that.
And then when we bought the gift for the knitting gift shop, the knitting gift shop, we both had a curly cable needle to have a try. And so they had. I've seen it online, Amazon, and you get 10. Why would you need 10? I know I did that for 10, but and you don't quite know what quality they are, do you? So this is heavy and good.
Yeah,
I think. And so you can. I don't know if you, depending on how many you're cabling and stuff like that, you feel like they're going to slip off. So with that, they're definitely, you can twirl it around as many times as you want. Yeah, so we'll tell you how we get on, and you might want to buy one. And they were 2 for £5.
Yeah.
So,
and I kept the bag.
I noticed that. So that is it for our stash enhancement acquisitions. So we are going to be going to Yarndale in 2 weeks' time.
So my plans for Yarndale.
Talk about that.
Oh yeah. So I had another little purchase. So my plans for Yarndale are to buy a sweater quantity of yarn. I also want to meet James Laxton. Hoping he's going to be there on the day I'm there. So I saw this on Instagram and I was like, I need that.
It was a
collaboration. It's a collaboration between Eldenwood Craft,
Emma from Eldenwood
Craft,
and
Shannon from Bluefin Yarn.
We've been doing this for a long time now.
And this was the yarn. It's called Summertale, and it's in your theme.
I know. I noticed. I don't know why I didn't want one, because I ordered it for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, to be honestly, you probably will end up knitting the yarn.
Knit your pair of socks.
And then it came with a really lovely stitch marker, little butterfly, and a little double pointed needle cozy, and then some goodies, a coffee, a tea, and a biscuit. Yeah, and then and the main thing was this bag.
Yeah,
for me.
Your flexi flips would fit in there.
Yeah. I love Emma's bags.
Yeah.
And I don't think I own one.
Don't you?
No.
We had one for a giveaway, didn't we?
Yeah.
I owned 2.
And they're just it's so lovely made, well made. Like really there. It's definitely going to stand up by itself.
Her bags if you want to. She does
if you don't buy many project bags and you really want a good one.
But also sign up for her newsletter because you get to buy before everybody else.
Yeah. So that is, and that my
she previews
the Maggie hand naturally dyed yarn. It's going to go in there because that was just perfect. So yes,
brilliant. So we've had a good shopping.
We have had a good shopping time. So yeah, so Yarndale is going to be about sweaters quantities.
Yeah, and we're staying up there for 3 nights, and we're going to be with our friends we met at the knitting hotel.
And we're only going to Yarndale for one day. So we're going to have a little look round somewhere on Sunday. I might even get in touch with my friend Sue, see if I don't know, she lives near York, so it might be
a little bit away.
Yeah, but we'll work out. So yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a non-yarny time together as well as, or we might just find a cafe and sit in it. Yeah, or knit in the B&B. Yeah. So that, we're really looking forward to that though. We planned this since after they came back. They went to Yarndale last year, and immediately we planned to go together this year. So so it's right before my husband's birthday. So
you did ask him when we booked it.
Yeah, but it's meant that his birthday stuff is happening the next weekend rather than. So it's in the middle. It's on a Wednesday. Yeah. So it could have been either weekend.
But I have to say, out of all of us, he is the one who likes to celebrate his birthday.
He does.
Bit weird. Mine couldn't give a hoot that it was his birthday or not. And he's 50 this year. And we cannot make him tell us what he wants. So I said to him, tell your mum. She wants to buy him something he can keep. So I said, tell him what a new leather wallet or something. Why do I have to come up with the ideas all the time? Yeah. Anyway, he wouldn't mind if he got nothing. So I haven't even thought what I'm going to get him. Nothing.
Well,
we did go. It's 50. So
mine announced in duty free in Gatwick that he wanted some aftershave. Yeah. So he got aftershave. He's got aftershave.
Oh right. So Mark, we went to New York for Mark's 40th, and we can't do that this year. Yeah. Anyway, coming up on 2 hours. So we hope you've enjoyed that, and
we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we will. We'll be
with some Maggie progress.
We'll be on location.
Yeah, Maggie progress and some more. I don't know what else we finished. I might just be knitting a Maggie.
Well, I'm hoping I'll be wearing my tee to Yarndale.
I've got to think about what I want to knit next,
sweater wise. Yeah.
Right,
you've got quite a few
things. You don't need to mull over that over now.
You've got quite a few things on the needles you could be getting on with.
Yeah.
So.
No, I know, but I mean, Maggie's going to be the main thing, and then right.
Anyway, bye everybody.
Lovely to chat to everybody.
Yeah, comment below and join in the giveaway.
Yeah.
And see you all in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.